We're starting a little early tonight. We have a 5:30 committee meeting to bring before the council for discussing, to hear from some folks about a downtown entertainment district. This is something that we've been working on for quite some time. Something we're not going to just jump into without having a lot of planning in it, and we have done a lot of planning, so I think it is time to bring it before the council. But we have a number of downtown businesses that are in support of this, and some folks who are involved with downtown. And Felicia's been heading this up for our office, so Miss Felicia, I will turn it over to you.
Good evening. This is something we've been working on for quite some time. We looked at it with 2 planning directors ago, and we worked on it. We've looked at every city in Arkansas that has an entertainment district. We've talked to the ABC board. We ran this by our planning department, the police department, Charles Finkenbinder. So now we just want to get it in front of you guys. Some of the key takeaways, I think, from the entertainment district is this will be event-based within a big boundary. So you have the map in front of you, and it shows the total entertainment district, and then the events will happen in a sub-area of that district. Each event must have a participating ABC license holder to have the event, because you have to have a current ABC license to have an event in an entertainment district. There'll be permanent signing. We'll put that up with wayfinding. If you will look, we'll have a logo, and that logo will be on signs. And then for their event, say if they were on Chestnut, we will have the feather boundaries so that you know that you're in the entertainment district. So we will do all of that. Each restaurant would get a cup from the city with the city logo on it in a wristband. And those are for everyone that's in the district. That's how CPD or security will know who's has an authorized cup, and they can walk within that district. So we will do all of that with the permit that they have, and the logo has to be visible on the cup. So there's a big train that we're going to put on the cup. It's also in your packets that I handed out. That's the Downtown Conway Entertainment District logo. And so that'll be very prominent throughout the district, throughout all materials that we put out. We will use the special event permit that PD already uses, because everyone is kind of already familiar with that application. We will add to the application, we have to have their ABC number, because you have to have an ABC number. And then James, there's one amendment we would like to make to the ordinance. It says that you have to apply within 30 days, and CPD right now does 45 days. And so if that's not an issue, that's the only change that they would like to make to the ordinance.
So you do want to make it 45?
We want to make it, yeah, it's the 4th page. It's 30 days prior to the event, and they ask that all of their other events are 45 days. So just to keep them all the same,
consistent,
they're asking for the 45 days. The fee is $100. We are asking with our events that they have some type of security that will be approved by CPD. It doesn't necessarily have to be CPD, but we will strongly encourage that we have security throughout the district. If it's a block, then James will determine, or Conway Police Department will determine the number that they feel like would be adequate for each event. But we're super excited about the entertainment district. Again, we've worked on it for quite some time and hope that it's a boost to some of our downtown merchants when we start it.
I'm sorry, I missed it. Who was it that requested move it to 45 days?
Conway PD. The rest of their permits that they issue for special events are 45 days. And again, we can do the 30 days, that's fine. They just asked.
More like 15.
More like 15
We're not
days.
planning a World's Fair.
No. We're good with, I mean, we could.
I mean, it's somebody might come up with something that, oh, hey, Super Bowl's in a few weeks. Let's do something. I mean, I don't know. We're going to make it event based. I don't want people to have to plan it out
Too far in advance.
Too
I
far
think
in
the
advance.
only thing is that when you use security for Conway PD, you have to get on a rotation. So it's seeing if you're going to come and you had your event and you had your own security, you probably could get it all approved within 2 weeks. But if you're using Conway PD for your security, then that's an officer. They have to make sure they have the manpower to then have your event. So we could do it either way. It's always we're always super flexible with the events. But we can leave it at 30 and go from there, or we can put it at 15.
Which page did you say that was on?
It
I'm trying to find
is-
it, and I'm not able to.
It's page 4 in the ordinance
Well, I
D.
thought you said
It's the application process.
30
So
days.
30 days prior to the event is what we would normally do for our events. Our events are a little bit smaller in Simon Park, MLK. We do 30 days. Conway PD, normally if you're using Conway PD, you're using officers. And so it's just giving the officers the amount of time to sign up for those events because those are extra duty events. But we're good with.
Well, I mean, I don't put it where we want. If it doesn't work, we can always tweak it.
Okay.
I mean,
Other than that,
Any questions for Felicia before I open it up?
Do you see the boundaries of the map here? Are there any like temporary, like if, for example, in the Hendricks Village, if they wanted to quote, because they have an event going on, is that something that somebody could apply for, or does it have to stay within just these boundaries?
so these are the boundaries of the downtown district.
Okay.
So if Hendricks wanted to have a district, it would be a different boundary. So we would have to do an ordinance specifically for that
Okay.
entertainment district, which would look and feel the same like this one,
So it
except
would
it would
mirror
have-
it.
it would mirror, it would just be different boundaries for those permit holders in that area.
Okay, and the same conditions would apply.
Same
Okay.
conditions. would
And
apply.
Hendricks is going to apply.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I thought.
Thank you, Felicia.
Thank you.
Going to open the floor up to anyone who would like to speak either for or against. If you would, when you come up, state your name and address for the record and state if you're speaking for or against. Floor is now open.
Hello, council members. I'm Jessica Crum. I own a local agency called Silver Lake and also chair the organization that runs our Conway Art Walk. We're excited to share that the Art Walk has grown from 200 attendees 3 years ago to about 1,000 attendees every month. Now we run March through November, and we just finished our 3rd season. Some of you, I hope all of you have been, but if you haven't, we shut down on Chestnut Street from Oak to Van Ronkel, and we see a ton of people come out. We've seen 44 different zip codes attending Conway Art Walk. So we have visitors coming from all over the place, even out of state. And that's really exciting. What excites us about this, I'm for, I should say that. I'm pro entertainment district. And the reason is I think that this will increase our A&P revenue. And of course, I want our A&P revenue to increase so I can have more A&P revenue for the Conway Art Walk. But I do believe that our out-of-town attendees are more likely to purchase alcohol at maybe Rogue Roundabout, grab a beer, and then walk around the event and stay longer, spend more money. Right now, they're having to choose: do I want to go to a restaurant or do I want to attend Art Walk? And where am I going to spend the next 45 minutes? But if they could have both, I think we'd increase our visitor retention and the spend at our downtown retailers and restaurants. And I'll pass over the mic to Jenny McNulty. She works with us at the Conway Art Walk as our program director.
Hi, our address is 1100 Oak Street, by the way, so I can follow the rules. Yes, so as she said, we have had folks from over 44 zip codes at Art Walk, and many of them come from areas that do not have near as strict alcohol laws or even know what a dry county is. So we have had a lot of feedback from people that are outside of the area not understanding why they can't get a drink easily at Art Walk, or why they can't go from we have a couple of businesses who might sometimes offer free wine inside their business, and why can't they go outside with it? And a lot of our conversations actually have to be, well, hey, you can't take it outside. So then the person has to either chug it, which they can't enjoy if they're doing that, or they have to throw it away. So the idea of just being able to take that drink, walk around outside. One thing we have found this year is that we added food trucks to the event, and having the availability of foods and drinks, obviously non-alcoholic so far, but having that available in the event itself has made people stay longer, and has also brought additional people out downtown to engage in what's going on, not only at Art Walk, but to also see what else is available in downtown Conway. We are obviously very much in favor of this and do believe this would help to generate more income for downtown and also grow events like the Conway Art Walk.
Oh, I forgot to mention, we have a police officer who comes down every first Friday to supervise and handle any issues. We have not had a single issue at Conway Art Walk, and it's been amazing. Honestly, I think it's excellent PR for our police department to be out there and to be engaging with the community. I've talked him into playing in the drum circle a couple of times. And that it's just, we've got some of our businesses who do offer free wine, and it's never been an issue that they've had anyone, disrupting or running into the streets or anything crazy. We've had nothing but great experiences with this community. People who attend our event are really respectful, and having that police officer presence is something that we always plan to do, whether or not this is in place. So thank you guys so much. We're so excited about this. We're pro, and appreciate y'all even putting it on the table tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey guys, thank you for having us here tonight. My name is Chris Smith, Rogue Roundabout, 804 Chestnut. I am pro. I am for this. Specifically for my business, this is going to be a great form of marketing, bringing people to the downtown area, exposing them to what we do, which is ultimately a family-friendly, very open, clean, bright way of having a new type of private club. Private club is the best way to serve what we're doing here. This gets me out into the open. It essentially increases my floor space from 5,500 square feet to drastically larger. Exactly what you have chosen here is what I've been wanting for a couple of years. I come from Russellville, another dry county. I came here to start this business with the help of the community. This is the next phase. If we're not doing something like this, we're moving backwards. We really do need to be moving forward, and I'm just thankful that we're here now talking about this. And this should be done and will be done in a very family-friendly, correct way. We have no intentions of violating that, and I'm sure the other downtown businesses feel very much the same. We are thankful for this, and this is something we want. We'll have some questions in the future, specifically if it's possible for us legally to possibly set up a alternate off-site sales location. That would be something that we would love, maybe in conjunction with a nonprofit inside the boundary at a park or a pop-up location would be something that I would be greatly interested in. I can do right now with non-alcohol. I just want to see if that's possible in the future, but that is another step for another day. Thank you right now for considering this motion. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else like to speak for or against?
So I'm Chad McReynolds, owner of Seven Oaks Steak and Seafood, one of the owners. Sometimes the boss when my wife lets me be. But we're very much in favor as well. I think Roe Roundabout said it pretty well. One of the questions I have on it is, will there, I think I heard limited amount or pre-existing ABC permits, and if you have a permit, will anybody else be allowed to apply for it that doesn't already have one in there? I guess from our perspective as a local business, brick and mortar, I want to make sure we get first shot at the opportunity to service these types of events if they do happen, and you guys do vote in favor of this. Very family friendly. I think if any of you guys have been in our place, we're more of a fine dining establishment, or certainly that's our ambiance that we're going for. So we're not going to take away from any family environment or anything like that somebody might fear. We're not looking for the rowdy crowd or anything like that. So very much in favor and appreciate your time.
Thank you, sir.
I can never remember how high to make this. Corey Parks, 532 Faulkner Street. Similar to the businesses that have spoke before me, I would just say we would appreciate you guys moving forward with this. I want to acknowledge the fact that you all have been intentional on how to structure this by starting smaller and allowing the community to grow with this experience. I do think this allows for us to add something that's missing from our market, especially with my demographic, not to exclude other demographics, but I know that the conversations that we have about attracting and retaining talent here, nightlife is the biggest question that we have. And so in no way, and this goes back to probably conversations from 3 years ago, in no way do I expect this to be the result of Dixon Street or Bourbon Street or Beale Street or any of those. Not to say that those aren't a good time, but I think that's counter to what we would expect here. But having the ability to, during Art Walk or other small business focused events, having the opportunity to enjoy a glass of wine while shopping and dining, this definitely adds another layer of what we're able to provide to the downtown community. And so would greatly appreciate that. The only consideration that I would ask that you all make beyond just supporting this in general would be the number of days. I think that there may be scenarios where someone has stood up a short-term event in less than 45 days. And so having that flexibility, maybe just to maybe have a range or a certain number of people that might be served, to just, again, have the number of days. I think the Councilman Grimes' recommendation of 15 days, I think that is more reasonable for folks that are primarily working in their businesses. They may not be in the event planning space as much as some organizations like the one that I have the privilege to work for. And so planning could be a challenge at 45 days out, where you maybe just want to celebrate a one-off something. I don't know I can't think of a great example, but I could see a scenario though where a shorter amount of required days could be beneficial, and having the longer time could impact us negatively as businesses try to diversify their offerings to the community. Thank you all.
Thank you, Corey. Anyone else like to speak for or against?
Very high up here. Kim Williams, 2555 Jamie Circle. I am obviously very excited about this opportunity because, we've been thinking about this or talking about it for, all you guys know, quite some time. Since I knew that the city was looking at this, I've had the opportunity to visit with several of our other Main Street communities that already have or already have the entertainment districts, and Russellville specifically has found that it has been a great economic boom, not only for the restaurants, but also for their shops and other, small businesses in their downtown area. Fort Smith has had theirs since 2020. And they've reported not a lack of crime, but greatly, it has not, the thought of crime and things like that has not come to fruition at all. They, have actually seen an opportunity for the police to actually be engaged more with the public, and so they've only seen some very good positive results from that. So just kind of wanted to share those insights from other communities. But thank you guys very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Kim. Anyone else like to speak for or against? Felicia, would you step back up here in case the council has any questions for you, please? You'll have to pull the microphone down.
I do have a couple of questions that came up out of that. So I never thought about this, but so Art Walk's a good example.
Mhm.
They close off a couple of blocks of Oak and maybe a block of Chestnut, a limited area. So if they wanted to have it an event-based Friday night, 6 to 9 or whatever it is, the time, is the entire area open that time, or just the section they cordon off for their particular event?
It would be a sub-area of the district.
Okay.
So we want to start off, that's
Okay.
kind of like how we want to start off, kind of small.
Okay,
It
all
would
right.
be a sub-area of, within the district.
Okay. And then maybe to address the gentleman from Seven Oaks, I think what he made me getting at, and this is just another question, basically, the Art Walk does not have a ABC permit,
Mhm.
so they're going to find a sponsoring restaurant downtown who has one, and there's maybe a dozen or so downtown, maybe more
There
now,
is,
15, I don't
yes.
know. So one of those is going to have to be the sponsor. And so just for example, let's say you draw the area for Art Walk that includes Seven Oaks, includes the road roundabout. One of those would be the sponsor, okay? But then the other one who's not the sponsor could also participate in the evening, right?
Correct.
Okay, so anybody in that geographic area is able to sell the cups and wristbands and be part of it?
Yes.
Okay,
I mean, like, it could be more than, it doesn't have to be one sponsor. It can be an event that maybe Road Roundabout on one end and Seven Oaks on the other end is sponsoring together.
yeah.
And so within our walk.
Yeah.
So, and that gives you then your boundaries. And both of those would then have district cups and wristbands for participants.
That was leading into the question I had, was if there's just one sponsor, that's 100 cups, and that's not enough for Art Walk if everybody wanted to.
No, they can do
So it can have
multiples if they like.
multiple, but it would have to be an ABC license holder.
Yes, and everyone downtown currently
Yeah.
that has a, ABC has a supplemental beverage permit as well, so.
And I too am leaning to the 15 days, and if it becomes an issue where somebody applies 15 days out, they can't get security, well, so be it. But I mean, I don't want to limit somebody. If they got a great idea, come up to get after it.
It could be a national football championship.
That's right, that just springs up.
You
That's
know,
right.
you just don't know if that's.
It
gonna
could.
happen.
The police department was requesting that,
They were requesting 45.
45?
But just simply because all their permits are 45. So they just wanted to kind of keep them all the same. But that's not a set in stone. That's just what they
And
do.
those events are mostly extra duty events, so say if you were having an event and it included extra duty, an officer has to sign up for those times, and so that just allows them to make sure they have staff for the community and staff for the event.
So could we get the police chief's thoughts on it?
We can.
He was here.
No, the term interim doesn't apply anymore. It's you. The question was, let me think if I'm explaining this right. Currently, if someone needs to plan something with the police department, y'all have a 45-day window there, or it has to be 45 days prior to the event. And I think the council's wanting to lean more towards 15 days on this. Lieutenant Presley, Chief, what are y'all's thoughts on this?
I mean, I don't think that would be a problem. No.
He's doing crowd control out
Yeah.
there.
To have in advance, 45 days. Now, if it was an event for the art walk, they block it off for 15 days. I mean, it depends, because correct me if I'm wrong on this, because I haven't read it in a while, but the event holder would have to have security.
Yes.
Yes. So, I mean, security's already there, so and I can leave Lieutenant
Well,
Presley.
I'm sorry.
I was going to say, maybe what we could do is something where police chief or the mayor or some combination could allow somebody, if it was something unique, think when Chris Allen won,
Yeah.
to have something, but that you guys would have to say, okay, yeah, we can make that happen in less than 30 days. Okay.
Okay, well, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I
'cause
think
like
that would be all right.
Art Walk's gonna have a standing monthly deal 45 days out. They know when their events are planned out for next year already. It's easy for them to have a 45-day window, but yeah, if something pops up, as long as there's a way to do it. As long as it's
Yeah, I
not
think if
completely shut
something
off.
pops up and
Yeah.
it says it's not within the 45 days, I mean, my opinion wouldn't be a hard no. So
That's
it-
fine.
Yeah, as long as
We
there's a
we
way
try
to
that.
do
That's
that.
fine.
Well, I
Okay.
have an opinion about security. We've had issues before with someone, not police, security. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
And me, that's an issue. We need to have policemen down there that's certified to do the job that might need to be done. Somebody down there with a gun and a taser in case something break out. When you got alcohol and people together socializing like that, there's gonna be a problem. Like it or not, there will be a problem. And if we're gonna do this, we need to have certified police down there doing it. That's just my opinion.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Any further questions? Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
We'll take about a 3-minute break and we'll kick back off at 6 p.m. I'm sorry. Would you come to the microphone, please? Okay. Yes, ma'am. Just, no, just state your name and address, please.
Okay, so Jessica Smith, my home address is 1511 Prince Street. I just had a question. I think I got a little gray area when David was talking and the other about the $100. So if I were to sponsor, say, the Art Walk for my 100 cups and Seven Oaks wants to participate, do they pay the additional 100 for their 100 cups? Or how, I just
would
need
think they'd
clarification on
have
the
to.
logistics of that.
I would say yes.
So let's say I pay the $100 to get the permit to sponsor Art Walk, and Seven Oaks wants to participate as well in this, and they're within that barrier that we establish as the event holder, the permit holder. We let Seven Oaks know, hey, we're doing this, we want you guys to participate. Do they already, by proxy, because we've established their barrier, get to participate, and they just pay the $100 for their cups? That's how that works? Okay, just wanted to clarify that. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, council, let's take about 2 minutes. We'll start again.